An ecosystem has two processes that must occur. Number one, energy must flow through the system. You can see that on the diagram. Most of our energy comes from the sun. And when it enters an ecosystem, it gets producers. They turn solar energy into chemical energy, and then it moves through food chains. But I didn't say that energy must enter the system. I said it must move through the system. So it enters as sunlight, and it moves through the system. It's given off as heat. And some of that can be leaked back into space eventually. If it didn't move through the system would overheat. Ecosystem process number two. Nutrients must cycle. And that's in a closed system. They stay there. They just move from one place to another. What are these nutrients that we're talking about? Well, there's lots of different nutrients, but we're going to focus on the cycles with what are called macronutrients. If you can remember CHNOPS. The whole point of this is that these nutrients do not stay in one place. We need to answer some basic questions. Where do they go? How do they get into our bodies? And how do they get out of our bodies? Well, we do that by studying what are called biogeochemical cycles. So these nutrients move between the biosphere, the geosphere, and they do so through chemical pathways. Diagram to the top right shows you all the pathways that oxygen can move into or out of what we call a sink, places where it's stored for long periods. These nutrients end up in water, they end up in air, they end up in ice, they end up in rock, they end up in living organisms. Most of these cycles are very slow. They have a natural cycle that's been going on for billions of years. And what becomes interesting in this class is that humans have impacted the cycles. And so we're going to look at the ways that humans have sped them up and in some cases kind of thrown them off balance.